全然切れねえ。悪い、髪切るわ。
本当に平気だって。
このままじゃ南が恥かいちまうだろ。すぐ終わるから。
All right, my friends, we are nearing the end of the Shiunji Family Children. And here's the thing. We just got done watching episode number 11. And I don't think this was neither a good nor bad episode. I think this was a fine episode of anime product. But there is one thing that I'm going to specifically harp on this episode. And let me just get that out the way early, and then I'll talk about the rest of the episode. Because again, I don't think it was predominantly bad or predominantly good. I think it was just a fine episode of Shiunji Family Children. And in general, it was just a mostly enjoyable episode, I guess. But I didn't really I can't say I wasn't into it, and I wasn't like, oh, this episode sucks. I was just kind of right down the middle. But in the beginning of the episode, there is one thing that definitely it irked me, because it's not necessarily a Shiunji Family Children specific thing. It is a main character being written in a certain way thing. And the thing you might ask is, Arata is very confused and confounded by his interaction and what occurred with Oka, right? Oka literally went to him, and as he was sick in bed, she confessed her feelings, because she thought he was asleep, but she confessed her feelings out loud, and he heard all of this, by the way. So she confessed her feelings out loud, and then she kissed him, okay? So she made the move, she kissed him. So she confessed her feelings, and then she kissed him, okay? So there's that. He did the main character sin. And I don't know what the obsession is in Japan with certain tropes, but he did the main character thing of questioning that. What did she mean? Does she mean she really loves me? Is she in love with me? Why would she kiss me? He did that thing that it bothers me to no end. If somebody right now came to you and said, and that you've known for a while, they say, hey, Matt, hey, Lucy, I love you. And then they kiss you. After that, are you going to be like, do they mean they're in love with me? Did they mean to kiss me on the lips? No, you're going to be like, man, I can't believe that they've hid their feelings. I can't believe that that they're in love with me. I should obviously answer that feeling with what I feel or don't feel. Either in the moment, obviously, but in this case, he was asleep. In the moment, or you talk about it, that's a normal human reaction. That's a normal, realistic reaction, is to go, okay, wow, I didn't know that. Or I would hope that was true, whatever the case is. And then you respond to it. But in Shiunji Family Children with Arata, and in dozens of other anime, they write these characters that this one character clearly makes a very instinctual or very, precise, very on purpose move, whether they're confessing verbally or they're making a physical move, and then they constantly question it. I made fun of Rent a Girlfriend recently, because there was some moment, I don't know, something was shared online, and I was like, I bet the main character questions do they really mean it that way? It's like, yeah, you stupid ass. Yeah, they mean it that way. Of course they do. And this happens a lot in anime, and those are the ones that I hate the most. The wishy-washy, I can't stand it. So anyways, I'm not gonna harp on it any longer, because I can honestly talk about it for a while, but I want to avoid doing that. I also hate when people say they want to talk about something, but then they don't, because I could talk about it for 10 minutes, but that's not what you're here for. So the rest of the episode, outside of that, I thought that sucked. The rest of the episode, he spends time with Oka, and, he obviously has some kind of feelings back towards her, right? And it seems based on Oka's flashback when they were kids, Arata always made it really clear that he just simply enjoyed spending time with Oka. He's not really into other girls because he gets to spend time with Oka. And Oka, when she was younger, made it clear, oh, I might have a crush on this boy, or, Takamachi in grade 4 is really cute, whatever. And Arata would listen, and he would always be like, again, based on her memory, to her, he would always be like, oh, I'm not really worried. I'm not thinking about other girls, I have you, kind of thing. And that makes her realize like, oh, I might have always felt this way about him, but obviously it was taboo. It was off the table because of their relationship. For Arata, he continues to get, basically he just needs to come out and one, he needed to have addressed it and just been like, hey, I can't. He just needed to be a man, right? He's 17 already. I think he can muster up some balls to be like, hey, you may have thought I was asleep. I can't get over this. We need to talk and then go from there, right? Whether, if he has some kind of interest in her in that way, explore it, talk about it with the other person involved. And if he doesn't, if he wants to keep it completely platonic and just be very vulnerable and be like, hey, this is definitely making my feelings confused, but what I want is for us just to be siblings, obviously I'm having a hard time with that because, he just be honest, because I'm a young boy and I get hard easy. It's science or whatever, right? Like, anyway, so there's that. And then Minami and, I forget what the other girl's name is. Minami, and they don't give her enough screen time. She is the best girl, the youngest one who was the most in love with Arata. She starts with an M, I think. Maruto, Manato, Manama, Katono. So Minami and Katono realize that Oka's been acting weird. So they want to make their move. So later on, the episode goes on or whatever, and Minami invites him to go out with flowers and stuff. And basically Minami's making her move now. And, she admits to Arata to his face, like, hey, I'm in love with somebody. And Arata, obviously, he's not at this point, because nothing's happened, in his mind at least. He's not taking it as that could potentially, be about me. But, Minami's like, oh, I'm in love with somebody. And, she begins asking him questions like, what do you want in a marriage, blah, 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 blah. And Arata in his head, because of the situation Minami kind of spun, was like, oh, well, she's in love with somebody. She's using me as like practice, to, be like on a date or whatever. And I think that's a pretty normal thing. I think that's something that, a sibling would do is like, hey, like, I've never been on a date before. Let's go out and, let's, go on like a date type outing thing and let me like practice. I don't think that that's too far-fetched, So I think it's kind of like, it's a cute thing and they share that time. And my next guess is that we'll probably end the season with Katono also making her move. But she'd probably be a little bit more aggressive because she's already, prior to the family reveal, she already revealed that like, hey, like, I love you. You know what I mean? And the non-blood relationship just kind of like, she just made like, oh yeah, I for sure love you. Like, you know what I mean? Which I want to see that explored more because I think that's the most interesting one is even before they found out the news, she was already dead set of like, brother, marry me. Like that's your end goal here. Like he doesn't know it yet, but it's happening. So I'm very interested to see what ends up happening there. And if I had to pinpoint like, hey, if I have an interest, it's definitely see what happens to Katono. But they considering we only have one episode left, I don't know if we're actually going to get anything satisfying. At this point, I think the best thing that we could get is resolution with Oka. Let's not explore Minami more. Let's not explore Katono. Let's just get resolution with Oka. I think that would be the best thing. But more than likely, I feel like it's heading towards that we'll probably get a Katono thing next episode. But yeah. Anyways, I spent too much time talking. I didn't like nor dislike this episode. I was just totally fine with it. I think from the, outside of the Arata and, what does she mean? Stuff that I absolutely hate. I think the rest of it was fine. It was a fine episode. Mostly enjoyable. So yeah. Also I like seeing Minami in her skirt. And I did like the moment where Arata kind of like bit off her, what do you call it? Like her tag or whatever. I thought that was a cute moment. I thought she looked cute. I thought she looked cute in her little jean skirt or whatever. Like very stylistic. Like that quite a bit. So yeah. Anyways, that's it. Shiunji Family episode 11. I'll see you guys next week for the final episode. And we're going to head into the summer season. Summer season's going to be way better. I think we're going to get some real bangers this summer because the spring has been mostly disappointing. All right. See you then, my friends. Peace.